What's a hidden bias companies unknowingly have, even when they think they are being progressive in their hiring?
Oh my gosh, that's a really good question.
This one, to me, is still like company pedigree.
I wouldn't be here if pedigree was something that was so important with background of experience. Truly, like, they took a chance on me.
We'll see some things that maybe we're like, oh, this might be a little bit of a risk, but we outweigh it with, well, they worked at Google, they worked at Facebook, etc. And oftentimes that doesn't work out.
This is Looks Good on Paper, a podcast from Willo about flipping the script on traditional hiring. I'm Ian Chohan, and every episode I put big voices in hiring and work culture through 3 quick-fire questions, speed dating style, to get the habits, trends, and ideas that matter. Is that even the right fit for the team? You know, you get blinded by this idea that, like, oh, I got that big shiny name and this person's going to do it. But, like, those companies have different needs. They're massive companies.
I hate seeing LinkedIn, you know, when people have their name and they're like, ex-Google, ex-this, ex-that, because it's seen as, you know, if you've worked for those big companies, there's this perception that you're better than everyone else, or you have something that others don't.
Right? The reason that you're at a big company tends to be very different to the reason you go to a startup. Like, I came to Canada and I shouted probably obnoxiously loud about how I worked at Google. So I apologize for all the people who met me earlier in my career because I name dropped it constantly.
We often confuse confidence with competent, or the polish with, you know, potential, right? So if someone has a polished resume, well, therefore they have a good chance of doing well here. I think that's a bit of a bias.
So yeah, there's so many little things in that journey, and looking at, and you're right, the size of the business, the type of business, the location, what you're offering. So it's more complex than people think.
When we start bringing in our processes to be unbiased and to take a different approach to it, it can bring up a lot of uncomfortableness for our hiring managers.
But most of the time, to my perspective, when hiring managers are relying on company pedigree, they're actually outsourcing the assessment of quality and talent to a third party.
When I hire for a small startup, I look the other way. I want people who are into trenches, who get it, who understand that nothing is written down and you just have to figure it out. And so I think sometimes biases come through like, oh, wow, you work in so-and-so. That's a good company. You must be great.
If we could just forget about what companies people worked at and focus more on, like, have they solved similar business problems to what we need to solve?
We present all of our candidates by way of unbiased profiles.
I only work with tech companies that are also people-first companies. So they have worked extremely hard to ensure diversity, inclusion, and belonging in their recruitment processes.
So we take away company names, where they've worked in terms of companies and countries.
So for example, someone may have gone on mat leave, you know, for a year, and that person gets docked, you know, because there's a gap there. Or someone, you know, didn't sort of move up the ladder each time they changed jobs. It was more of a, you know, lateral move. Who cares?
There is a lot of kind of like rethinking how you've done it in the past and questioning yourself, why do I look for this? Why do I always look for company name? What am I really getting out of that?
And if that motivation isn't aligned, the problems they're solving aren't aligned, and the experience doesn't align, how is that going to be a successful hire in your company?
I mean, that person changed organization. They sort of took on new challenges. And so, you know, they get penalized for that. Or, you know, someone may penalize someone because they change jobs every 18 months. Well, guess what, folks? The average tenure for most people today is 18 months. So, or less.
The candidate names, school names, and then specific years of experience so that no gaps can be inferred. So it takes a lot of getting used to with our clients.
There's a lot of opportunity in recruitment. Like I've turned down clients who operated differently, whose values were not in line with what I care about. And I care about people first. I care about the candidate experience. I care about the client experience. And I'm never going to put a business outcome over a human experience.
If we've got a client that is simply like not aligning with our values and we're seeing way too many red flags pop up, we are no strangers to saying, hey, look, we don't think we can work with you until we figure this out.
Or someone, you know, didn't sort of move up the ladder each time they changed jobs. It was more of a, you know, lateral move. Who cares?
trust that they're the right person to get the job done, and figure out the different ways in which you can evaluate.
I just think about this a lot, where it's like when we do things like add more technology or just like continue to try to like automate stuff, we take away what we need to know about the actual individual human through the process, and then they're surprised at the end when they don't find the right fit or we can't retain the right talent.
Because you could have worked at a huge company and done nothing versus work an unknown company and having done everything, or vice versa, right?
Is it a fit or is it an addition? Are you wanting to replicate the same, or you wanted to add something deeper and richer and continue to add?
We outline the companies that I've worked for as a way to build credibility and like why you should listen to what I have to say.
That's
So,
true.
like, just because I work at these companies doesn't mean that I'm right about any of this stuff, right? Like, it doesn't actually add any value. It's just I have these experiences.
What we want is to find people that have that firepower, that are like, hey, I want to do it. And that's great. And some people don't, and that's fine too.
That's okay.
I think that's another thing that's really important. Learn that about yourself.
You've got to keep asking questions. You've got to make sure that's measurable. You've got to keep asking yourself. You've got to keep asking those people you've brought in to support to make sure that that bias hasn't changed, because we all evolve, we all change, we all grow.
6 people, different companies, different industries, different stages in their careers. None of them heard what the others said, and yet they all came back to the same place. We're still screening for where someone has been instead of what they can actually do. That's been the thread running through all of season 2. Not as a theory, but as something every guest we spoke to has seen play out in practice over and over again. That's what season 2 has been about, and that's where we're going next. Thank you to every guest who came on the season, and thank you for saying the truth. And thank you to everyone who listened, shared an episode, sent us a message, or even told a friend. Season 3 is coming, and we've got new questions, new guests, and honestly, a lot more to say. If you want to be part of it, as a guest or just as someone who cares about getting hiring right, find us at willow.video/looksgoodonpaper, or just come say hi to me on LinkedIn. I'm Anita Chohan. This has been Looks Good on Paper, and we're just getting started. Get ready for season 3.